Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm not in my usual habitat at the moment. I'm in Dubai, but as you can see, I've still been uploading on the channel, but they are all pre-recorded videos. And I see you guys in the comments asking me to react to this situation and that situation, so I thought, let's get a quick video up for you now. Today we're talking about the Jake Paul fight that's just went down. People have got very mixed opinions on Jake Paul. Some people used to hate him and are starting to like him. Other people still dislike him. Some people are giving him the respect because he's working his way up the rankings and he genuinely does want to become world champion and he's doing the right things in order to do so. Other people still hate him because he's still not fighting reputable, good boxers. Most of you will already know now, Jake fought on the weekend against someone called Ryan Borland. And the great news is he's a professional boxer, which is what we were all saying that we want to see Jake do. We want to see him fight professional boxers. But once again, it can't be a Jake Paul fight without some sort of caveat. And if we take a look here, this is Ryan Borland. He's got a pretty okay record, 17 wins, 3 losses. 6 of those wins was by KO, but he's also been knocked out twice. You can also see he's 35, so he's on the back end of his career. 6 foot, so similar height to Jake. And as you can see, Ryan Borland was a former Golden Gloves champion, so he's a pretty legit boxer. The problem is, when we take a look at his record, you can see his last fight, his last win, was in September 2022. And the last time he fought before that was 2018, so a 4-year gap. So we're not talking about someone who was super active. And as a lot of you guys know, activity matters. You can't just be sitting out for 2, 3, 4 years and then come back and expect to fight at a high level. And the one thing we have to respect about Jake Paul is he's being active. Jake's got 9 wins and 1 loss. 6 of those wins are by KO. Now, obviously, the opponents are questionable, but we can see here he's fought once in 2024 already. He fought 3 times in 2023, once in 2022, 3 times in 2021, and then twice in 2022. Now, people are hating on Jake Paul for fighting people like this Ryan Borland, saying that Jake needs to take a step up in competition, which I understand people's frustration, but we have to remember Jake Paul's an influencer. He's got a lot more eyeballs on him now than what most professional boxers do at the start of their careers. So as much as I would like to see Jake Paul fight better opponents, we have to remember if he wasn't an influencer, no one would even know him right now. He'd probably have about 3,000 followers on Instagram, if that. And even this guy says it here, listen, I hate how Jake Paul made a name for himself in boxing, but he has to work his way up the way any other boxers does. He's doing it right. You people are never happy, and I have to agree with that. Someone said cherry picking easy wins ain't what I'd call working your way up, and then this guy responded, he's not cherry picking, he's building his record like all boxers do at the beginning, and now he's doing it by fighting real boxers. I can't believe him defending Jake Paul, but then I understand the frustration because Ryan Borland, as this guy said here, has only had 2 fights in 6 years. Guys, if you can hear the lawnmower in the background, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. Now, there was pretty much zero hype for this fight whatsoever, and everyone was pretty vocal about that. Everyone was saying that no one cares about Jake Paul. He's got no selling power whatsoever. If this was KSI fighting regular people, KSI would sell a lot more pay-per-views and a lot more people would be tuned in, which we don't really know for the fact, but yeah, maybe so. But as we say, if Jake Paul is serious about trying to build a name for himself within boxing and getting respect from professional boxers, I think most professional boxers would agree that Jake Paul is doing the right thing here. What professional boxer is fighting the top 10 in the world within the first 10 fights? No one really. So of course there's going to be no hype around this fight. That's to be expected because he kind of is fighting bums, but that's just what he's got to do to build his record. I mean, Jake done his best to promote the fight. He tried to get people hype, but unfortunately no one cares about his opponent.
Are y'all ready? I said, are y'all ready? I'm sick and tired of these rhinos walking around this island. Tomorrow, the rhinos are going extinct. I promise you that.
How do you win?
KO. Easy money. You already know how I do it, bro. Stop playing with me, Ariel. Stop playing with me.
What round?
2 rounds or less. Come on.
As you can see, there's only so much he can work with because Ryan Borland isn't exactly going to come out and promote the fight. It's not like Jake is fighting someone like Tommy Fury who can chat a bit of crap and do a bit of trash talk. No, he's fighting someone who's fought twice in 6 years, which once again is completely normal. But of course, this person isn't going to be well versed in trash talk. Right now, even though I know that Jake Paul has won the fight, I haven't watched it. And because it's only 1 round, let's do a live reaction to the fight itself and see how this goes down. Okay, Jake comes out, he's establishing the jab, almost a little bit Philly shell-esque. Ryan Borland lunging in a little bit there. Jake's throwing the nice jab, left hook, right hand. Oh, uppercut there. He's got him on the ropes. Yeah, Ryan got a nice shot off there, but yeah, he looks kind of like a fish out of water here. Ryan was tearing his head away then. Jake's just going for it. Yeah, that's over. It's just not a good look when you're a professional boxer and you look how Ryan Borland did there. His posture, he was even turning away from Jake in a few moments. And that's what inactivity is going to do to you. Has Ryan Borland got skill? Yeah, of course. He was a Golden Gloves champion, but the inactivity can sometimes make a bit of a bitch out of you, kind of like me. Right, now, one thing I will say, people were talking about how there was no hype around this event, but from actually watching this, it seemed like the crowd was lively, the crowd was hype. Now, I think some of it was just audience noise laid over this footage to avoid copyright purposes, but just from looking at the crowd in the background, it seems like a sold-out event. Everyone's standing up, everyone seems engaged. I don't know, there might have been a little bit more hype around this than people are making out. Someone said, Jake Paul is the best fighter in the world right now, and someone responded appropriately, the actual best fighter in the world, Johnny Bones Jones, let's go. Now, True Geordie actually done a video saying Jake Paul's fight was a step backwards, and I mean, I kind of agree with him a little bit, just in terms of the public sentiment around this fight. The general public opinion is that Jake Paul needs to fight better opponents, and he's fighting retired bums all the time. No one knows the name. Jake Paul should be fighting bigger people. So I do get it, but the finish was pretty respectable. Jake Paul poured the pressure on that Ryan Borland, and he was relentless with it, and Ryan Borland had nothing in return for Jake. So you can't really knock the stoppage. Everyone's making very negative videos about Jake, including Mike Bisping, and Mike was saying that Jake's disrespected the sport of boxing, which I understand where he's coming from, but I just have to play devil's advocate and give a little bit of pushback on that. Okay, maybe he was disrespecting the sport of boxing when he was fighting old, retired MMA fighters, and maybe that's why Mike has got a little bit of a grudge against Jake. But once again, at the same time, what else is Jake meant to do? He's clearly not top-tier professional level yet. If Jake was to fight someone super high level, he'd get destroyed. Now, Jake does make it hard to be his fan. I'm not a fan, by the way, and it's mainly because he'll fight bums like these, then at the same time, call out the best fighters in the world.
I mean, he was supposed to give it to me, right? This guy has 19 fights, he's super experienced, so I guess we just gotta step it up way more.
Get ready.
But I'm ready for the big leagues, I'm getting sharp. This is my life now, and like I said, I'm on the road to world champion. Hey, Canelo, stop ducking. I know you want it. And I'm repping Puerto Rico.
Oh.
You're repping Mexico.
Oh.
So it's Puerto Rico versus
Wow.
Mexico. I want Canelo, I want all the biggest names. Like I said, I'm the face of this sport. Truly.
He did it. He's the face of the sport, truly. Okay, he wants Canelo. This man's legit. He wants the toughest tests out there. No, he doesn't. He's calling out Canelo because he knows that fight is not going to happen. Canelo Alvarez would not wipe his ass with a Jake Paul payday.
So Jake calls out Canelo Alvarez, but who do you think his next fight is going to be against? Probably another journeyman or someone who hasn't fought in 2-3 years, someone who's in the mid to late 30s. If you look at the fighters who were the most marketable in the world, let's say someone like Conor McGregor, he used to call a shot and then take that fight. He'd call for Jose Aldo, he would call for the title, and then when it come time, he would step up and he would follow through. So there was a congruency between what Conor McGregor said and what he would do. His words and his actions aligned up. Jake Paul says stuff like this and says that he wants the best fighters in the world, but then fights low-level, almost retired, old boxers, which is fine, by the way. That's completely fine to do when you're building your way up the ranks, but then don't go in your post-fight interview and start calling out Canelo, because you lose that congruency then. Your words then hold less weight. So there you go, guys. I'd say pretty decent finish by Jake Paul. He's doing the right thing in terms of working up the ranks, but then he's also doing the wrong thing by calling out the best fighters in the world, knowing damn well that they're not going to take the fight, and it's just for a little bit of marketing and promotion for himself to try and go viral. Comment down below, what do you guys think? Is Jake doing the right thing, building his way up the ranks? Should he just quit? Should he just stop this boxing thing and go back to doing what he does best, which is just being a prankster and a goof? Who would win between Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez? That's a rhetorical question. Okay, boys, make sure you like this video, subscribe. I'll try and get another video like this out tomorrow, and I'm also going to try and get another Dubai vlog whilst I'm out here. Right, appreciate you all. See you tomorrow.